That's a great question. I'm currently sat in the car here outside my own hockey club, SV Kampong, in 6 degrees and storm-like winds, ready to go and have a goalkeeper session with my goalkeeper trainer, Martijn Driver. So trying to do as much as I can, even though our season only finished up, I think about 10 days ago. Took a bit of time off. 2024 has been a heavy season, of course, for an awful lot of players. So now it's trying to find the right balance between, being fresh, but also trying to get to the peak performances in the hockey in the league as well. I think obviously most hockey players have realized that the possibilities and the opportunities to go to the Hockey India League and to earn money for the 7, 8 weeks that you're there doesn't happen every day of your life, and especially not as a hockey player. And while they're quite minimum in compared to the cricket or the IPL level of earnings, you can always say that that type of money can make a difference in your life. It can be a down payment or a deposit for a new house, for a mortgage. It can help also perhaps with tuition fees for your daughters or your kids' futures, and that's some way that I'm definitely approaching it this time around. Short-term goal, I think, would be looking straight away to try and get the team to blend together. Having played, like you said, in many different leagues across Europe and also Asia, played also in the Malaysian Hockey League and the Hockey India League, like you rightly said. It's always tricky at the beginning to try and get the group to gel together, the different backgrounds, cultures, languages, even trying to figure out each other's names in such a short space of time is obviously quite tricky, and that will go for all of the 8 teams of the different franchises. So that'll be the short term goal, and of course, long term goal building over the coming years. With this Hockey Indian team, of course, every franchise wants to win, and that's certainly something we also want to do as the Tamil Nadu Dragons. I think obviously the different formats would be that the likes of the leagues here in Europe are for a more sustained period of time. So you have perhaps your first half of the season might be close to 3 months long. You have a winter break, and then you finish and conclude with another 3 months before heading towards the playoffs. And having played in the Hockey India League and Malaysia, a lot shorter. Maybe the guts of 8, 9 weeks at most, when the previous editions were a bit longer. And I think when you're trying to get the most out of those times there is, well, in the Netherlands here or the European leagues, you have a bit more time and opportunity to develop yourself individually, but also as a group. In the leagues like the Hockey India League, that's one of the biggest challenges. How can you go from A to B as quickly as possible, realizing that it's not always going to be in a straight line. There'll be some dip moments, there'll be some high moments, and ultimately continuing to try bring the group, yeah, towards the kind of the goals that you want to achieve together. So that probably would be the major differences. I would like to hope and see that there will be continued and sustained success for the organization, for Hockey Ireland on both the men's and the women's side, that Hockey Ireland will justify and cement its position in major tournaments to go to the likes of the World Cups consistently, to play in Olympic Games, like it will become a norm for a lot of teams like the likes of India, the Netherlands, Germany, teams that you will see throughout the 4 year cycles always being at those events. And for Ireland right now, we're kind of hit or miss. And I would like to see over 10 years' time to try and get that consistency in place where you remain within the top 10 in the world, but you also get to participate in those major tournaments. Long term goals, once retired from hockey, I don't think it'll be possible for me to stay out of the sport too long. I just love being in elite, a high performance sport, and particularly obviously hockey. But after when I'm finished up playing myself, not quite sure yet, but I would like to try and see perhaps the current role that I have right now is at a lecturer at the Amsterdam University of Applied Sciences. Perhaps having the ability to take that to, yeah, perhaps different countries. You might move to become a college or a university lecturer, or at the same time also going to see what my wife would like to do, because she's been incredibly good to me. She's followed me all over the world, and it's now time for me to return that favor and to go, listen, Lynn, wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do, I'll be there behind you to support you and my two daughters. Yeah, I'm really excited to get over to see what it actually is like. And I think if I remember back so fondly, the good memories that I have from competing in the previous editions of the Hockey India League, I think that's the magic of the league. You get to go in, of course, you'll know some of the international players from maybe some of them are your own club teammates like Yip Janssen, or players from other countries that you played against for many, many years, the likes of Blake Govers from Australia. But then on the same side, knowing you have the Indian stronghold players like Amit, and then at the same time, those unknown kind of undiscovered players who have this podium, the Hockey India League, to really show what they can do. And I think that's one of the most exciting phases for them to be in, and for me to be a part of, to see these players who you might not have ever heard of, but you know that potentially over years to come, they will be also going to the Olympics. They will also be competing on the highest level. And I can remember my time when I was at my team in Mumbai, the Bang Mumbai, all those years ago, 2017, where I met Christian Patak for the first time. I said the goalkeeper with me. I said to him, if he was to keep going doing what he does, recognizing his athleticism and his reflexes and his ability, I said, you're going to be maybe the next Indian #1 goalkeeper. And then 7 years ago, you're walking in the Olympic Village with him. Or
Mm.
sorry, 7 years later in Paris. So I think that's also incredible as well. I don't know because obviously knowing the nature of the different regions and the different dialects, it's really difficult. You could always use the same words, the Keshe, Ho, Ki, Hala. There's other words you can use. Um, Shukriya, things that I can remember back to my days because it's been actually quite some time since I've been there. I think the 2018 World Cup in Bhubaneswar was the last time that I was on Indian soil. So personally, I can't wait to get back and maybe pick up a bit of Tamil when we're also in Chennai for our pre-training camp as well. Well, I think I actually, again, I was only chatting to a couple of friends of mine about this. It's a unique place to go to play hockey. Everybody in the world knows that. India and their fans are just incredible. It's unrivaled to a certain level. You can say other countries, perhaps Argentina in Argentina, and the Netherlands when you play them in the Netherlands, also have a fantastic support. But India is just on a different level. And the stadiums, the boisterous support, and any fans that are going to be over there, I would love to interact, love to engage with them, maybe click a selfie with them if they wanted to, and yeah, hopefully there'll be a lot of support for all the teams in Rourkeela and also in Ranchi throughout the tournament.